confirmed that a car bomb exploded outside the State Department. There is obviously a coordinated effort and some sort of assault here on the United States in Washington and New York.
Trinity Place and Murray Bertram, 411 Pearl Street. All other students, we're told, are being kept in the schools under heightened security right now. Parents and only parents are allowed to pick the kids up. Parents and only parents, so we need to stress that. Parents and only parents being allowed to pick the children up. The following schools have been identified now for triage operations for the treatment of the injured. That's Stuyvesant High School, which is at Chambers and West Side Highway, and PS 234 as well as PS 89. And running right now, city and federal buildings in Newark still open, though again heavily fortified. That's the latest now. We're going to continue to monitor these developments, particularly with the schools closing.
The other tower, as you can see, seems to be collapsing, David,
right,
as we watch.
Unbelievable.
This is, it's collapsing inward and it's imploding. This is a horrific situation you're watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a child watching and you do not have a parent there, I don't know what to advise you if you can understand this.
It's hard for an adult to understand.
Words cannot describe this.
8:45 until now at 10:29.
Nina Pineda, can you hear us? Are you on the line at all, Nina? Nina is just a few blocks from there, and we do not have her amidst the chaos. We have not heard from Joe Torres. This is just so tragic that it's sort of
almost
ridiculous to try to talk through this. It is so horrific.
Until today, the worst act of terrorism on American soil was the. Until today, the worst act of terrorism on American soil was, of course, the bombing in Oklahoma City. Act
across the street at 130 Liberty Street.
You heard the explosion, and then what did you do?
We heard the explosion, and we didn't know if it was a earthquake or whatever. And they came on the PA system and said it was a bomb, but then we heard it was a plane. So then we went back upstairs because we thought everything was okay. And then we actually didn't see the second plane, but we saw the explosion hit the other tower, and flames just came flying towards us.
And that's when you ran?
That's when we went to the other side of the building and then waited to hear from the PA system. Then they said they were evacuating everybody. And then we just walked all the way up Broadway, and glad we did because the whole building came down.
Just got out of the area as far as possible. And you've been trying to get through on a cell phone, too. That's been the other thing people are trying to do. Have you gotten out?
No, not at all. Some of us have.
Some of you have gotten, you just managed to get a call out on your cell phone. You're just trying to call friends and loved ones.
Just wanted to call my husband and let him know that I was all right.
This is terribly frightening.
Oh, my God. It's so upsetting to know that there are all those people that, you know, people come in to work early down here, and it's really horrifying.
You were in work today. You're still in your work clothes. You evacuated along with all your friends here?
Yeah, I was with these guys. We were by the glass, and we saw huge pieces of flaming debris fall, and the building shook. And then, like he said before, we looped around. We went downstairs, went back up, and then we saw the second plane hit. And then shortly thereafter, we evacuated the building.
You stopped here. You turned. It's what everybody's doing all over the city. They get to a spot, they turn, and they watch. And you almost have to watch.
Yeah, it's surreal. It's like watching a movie.
It's surreal and it's horrifying at the same time. What was that?
Yeah, that the top of the building. When we turned around, we just saw a big pile in the road because it had just fallen down. The whole thing is gone.
And now, of course, number 2 World Trade Center.
That's going to go down, too.
It's gone. And then what we're looking at, spin around, we can see the picture from, this is from where we're standing. We're a good 20 blocks or more from the World Trade Center as we're standing here, and you can see the flames. You see where the hole is, and you can see how the original hole is, which is in the middle of the building. And if you look at it, you can see how the hole has grown. Also, the flames below, maybe 10 floors below now, those flames have spread from the original fire. We've seen with binoculars, there have been people out here with binoculars. They've seen people in the buildings. There are still people in that tower. Another ambulance screaming through the area. You were in that area today.
Yes, I was on 299 Broadway when I felt a huge vibration. Thought it was an earthquake, didn't know what it was. People were running across the street, barefooted, some crying on the floor, almost like a stampede was occurring. Everybody just ran. This is where I'm at now. I don't know how many blocks I ran. I almost caught asthma by the time I stopped. Lost my cell phone. I can't even call my family right now. And
that's the big thing, of course, all the New Yorkers are trying to do. Everybody who is in that area, everybody who's in the city today is trying to get through, either in a cell phone or finding a store or something. I did the same thing, trying to call the family, trying to call a loved one, telling them that you're okay. Talk to someone who was in the building, had just gone into one of the World Trade Towers when it all happened. He said from where he was in the lobby, there was a flush of debris and a flush of fire down one of the elevator shafts. He actually was singed, and he was in the lobby. This gentleman here, where are you coming from, Richard?
I was in the Century 21 building.
So you were downtown too?
Right. Our office points right at the buildings, and we're so accustomed to seeing people of all walks of life down in the lobby and everything, and every day, and then all of a sudden this happens at 9 in the morning, and fire came out from all sides of the building. And to us, we thought bombs went off or something, but apparently planes went. But it's a sad, very sad time for America.
What we're going to do is we're going to turn back to the tower right here. We're going to send it back to you, and of course what everybody is thinking is that our prayers are with the people who are in that tower. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Get an update on the State Department real quick.
Apparently it was a car bomb that exploded outside the State Department. That's according to senior U.S. law enforcement officers. The State Department had been evacuated previous, apparently, to this bomb. So one can only assume that the people that were in that building got out safe and sound. We certainly hope that they did.
Looking up at the top of the building at a rate of about 1 every 5 minutes, you see people that are jumping from the top of the building. It is an absolutely harrowing scene at this point. Police officials told us to evacuate the area that we were in. We moved about 2 blocks further, but the scene is very, very similar.
We do not know who has been hurt and what casualties might have occurred, which is the information that we are. I want you to take a look at what's happening right now. That is a live picture.
That's a live picture too. That's World Trade Center 2 has just collapsed.
That's the second tower to collapse.
We are now looking at the collapse of the second of the World Trade Center towers. Again, this is something that we never dreamed we would witness in our lifetime. Let us tell you that to come into this city right now, you will not be able to. The bridges, the tunnels, shut down. Subway lines, trains, pretty much closed. The New York Stock Exchange.
Just a moment ago, the entire top of the building collapsed. You can see a massive plume of smoke. People are running away from the area. There are firefighters and there are police trying to evacuate the area as quickly as possible. People who are near the area are in an absolute frenzied situation. The entire top of the building just collapsed. You can see the plume of smoke is coming in our direction. Let's get out of here, Ralph. We're going to leave because the smoke is coming right at us.
Obviously, this is a devastating
They're
moment
gone.
in our history.
They're gone. The World Trade Center is no more.
Constantly watching these people. So what I'm asking again is, how did this slip by? I mean, we can say, 20/20 hindsight, but this was obviously a synchronized planned attack on 2 states.
But are they watching the people in this country or the people in other countries?
Oh my goodness, look at the screen.
Goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh. Both towers down.
As you basically informed some people what happened, assuming some people had no idea what was happening, what kinds of reactions are you getting from people?
Oh, look at this.
The second tower.
You're going to the second tower. You're looking at this live right now.
Okay.
Both towers now completely destroyed of the World Trade Center. You have no idea how many people may have been in those buildings. We have no idea. This is a major communication center for this city, for this country. Many government offices in those towers. Amazing video as you're watching it now. It's not video, it's live. It's right before your very eyes.
The World Trade Center is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Both buildings collapsing from apparent terrorist attacks. And we want to just take you through this. The threats all the time, Jim, and you hear them, and you always think you're safe. You always think, okay, the FBI is on top of this. It can't happen. It will never happen here. But you can never feel too safe, apparently, from what we're watching now.
From the distance we were at, it looked like there was a lot of metal falling, a lot of paper, building, office supplies, desks coming down, and then, of course, bodies. You could see a lot of bodies flying down as well. It was awful.
Okay. Ma'am, are you aware of what's going on? Or have you been evacuated from your building?
I'm not dead, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, you are in a moment here as people kind of collect their thoughts as to what's happening today. A lot of people unclear, praying for their loved ones. Can you just tell me what's going through your mind right now?
Right now I'm just calm. I'm really calm right now. I just say a prayer. You leave it in the Lord's hands. That's all you can do right now.
Are you trying to get in touch with your loved one?
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that. A lot of people keeping faith, keeping with their faith, and keeping strong. And of course, we'll give you the very latest. So Jim and Lynn, back to you.